Hi, I'm Martin Rust. I'm with the Security and Policy Institute of Professional Development here at the University of Ottawa. Today my guest is Kamran Bokhari. Kamran is the advisor to Stratfor on Middle East and South Asia and the author of Political Islam in the Age of Democratization. Kamran and I, we've been talking about ISIS and the role of global terrorism. And I wonder if you could take a moment and explain ISIS and the role that it's playing today.
ISIS has to be seen as distinct from any other form of jihadism that we've seen thus far. ISIS is different because, unlike Al-Qaeda, which we have come to sort of know as the poster boy of jihadism, is holding territory. It's providing services that a local government would do in different areas. It's not a full-fledged government. It's it does have an administrative structure, but really it's somewhere between a non-state actor and a state actor. And what this does, this reality does, is it makes it really far more sophisticated and powerful than Al-Qaeda, having territory that provides oil revenues because you're controlling oil fields or refineries. That's a lot of money to bankroll your jihadist ambitions around the region.
So what then is the appeal for predominantly young men and women from the West, including Canada, to want to go and join and be part of ISIS and the ISIS movement?
Different people join it for different reasons, but primarily they're disillusioned with what they are in the situation, the status quo, whether they live in the West or whether they live in the Muslim world. They see, there's also a sort of a coolness factor, if we can use that term. It's sort of the hip thing these days for a lot of people. It provides an outlet for pent-up grievances. Many youth see it as a success story compared to other groups like the Muslim Brotherhood that people sort of dismiss as being not serious about either Islam or politics or any of the things that they care about, and definitely it has taken the idea of jihadism to another level that Al-Qaeda never was really able to do, which is why we see a lot of people who used to be with Al-Qaeda joining ISIS.
I've heard you say before that there are men and women with British accents and French accents and Canadian accents who are waging war against the West, against us, in defense of their homeland, even though they may have been born here and raised here, but they have been drawn to the defense of their homeland. Can you explain that a little bit further?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of almost like a contradiction because from their point of view, their ideology isn't nationalistic in sort of demarcating, well, this is my territory. Theirs is a global cause. They want to ideally take over the whole world, and in the short term, they'd like to be able to take as much of the Middle East as possible, which may from in a certain way of looking may seem a bit more realistic than taking over the planet. And so they don't have a country, they don't have a home, from their point of view, but they do have allegiances. The allegiance is that we speak for the Muslim world. So whether you're a Muslim in the Philippines or in Africa or Central Asia, we speak for you, even though right now those guys can't get far beyond Syria and Iraq. But that's the propaganda, that's the PR that they are engaging in, and that's how they define, and everybody else is the other. Everybody fighting that cause is the other.
And so they are lining up to defend that cause against everybody else, including in many cases the countries in which they were born and raised.
Absolutely, and it's from their point of view, those countries are meaningless, and I guess in some ways it's a failure of it's our failure that we were not able to provide them with a narrative that basically they got disillusioned. So there is certain failure on our part in order to how we manage immigrant communities in the West. Definitely, it's a lot of blame can go around in the region for those who joined the group, in the Middle East and South Asia, because those countries are largely, economically, very in bad shape. Yeah. Politically, there is no outlet. And so these people are left to sort of look around, and when they see this one group seemingly succeed, they say, this is the band that I want to join.
Yeah. Well, this is a topic that we are going to engage in much more detail here at the Institute. Thank you for being with us. Again, my name is Martin Rust, and I'm with the Security and Policy Institute of Professional Development here at the University of Ottawa. My guest today is Kamran Bokhari, advisor to Stratfor on the Middle East and South Asia, and author of Political Islam in the Age of Democratization. Thank you, Kamran.
Thank you.